You're locked in with Atlanta's hottest hip hop station. The Hype 87.3.
That's right. It is your girl, TampaMystic, and we are live right here in ATL on the Hype 87.3. And today, y'all better hear me. We got a superstar checking in. Hemmingw8y. I mean, just like you are the total package. You got the look, you got the sound, you dress good. Introduce yourself.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Hemmingw8y. That's Hemmingw8y. Oh my.
Oh my. Sound like Usher a little bit. Oh my. Listen, I love your energy.
Thank you.
I mean, first and foremost, it is so like one of those type of energies that you project that people are just going to want to be around you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love that. You got that big energy. Thank you for being here. Shout out to my dudes. Definitely. Absolutely. So you grew up in Clarksville, Tennessee and Birmingham, Alabama.
Yes.
Let's just start at that point right there. Between the two, did you spend more time in one or the other?
I did like the childhood stuff in Tennessee. I'm a military brat. So my folks were stationed at Fort Campbell. And then like the adult life for me was all in Birmingham.
Got you. I was going to ask you about that because my son was also stationed at Fort Campbell and bought a house and lived in Clarksville for a long time.
That's why I was there.
Yeah, it's beautiful up there.
I loved it.
Man.
When I was there, I loved it. Of course, you know what I'm saying? Like you have like things that might not have particularly been the best, like with family stuff. But outside of that, it wasn't bad. I had a lot of firsts in Clarksville. So.
Understood. Absolutely. What took you to Beham?
My dad.
Okay.
My parents, they separated. So my dad went back to Alabama. My mom stayed in Tennessee. And then again, like I said, it was just like a lot of family stuff that was going on. So we had to kind of make a decision. And I ended up staying with my dad.
Understood. What was the biggest change or getting acclimated from Clarksville to Birmingham?
Clarksville was clean cut.
Okay.
Everything about Clarksville was because it was a military town.
Yeah.
Everything about Clarksville was like real clean cut. And then when I got to Alabama, it was just kind of like a culture shock. It was a change for me because I was so used to, you know what I'm saying, just being inside, going to church all the time. And then when I got there, it was like, okay, we're going to start exploring, going to the club and doing things like that. So
Birmingham is lit.
Yeah. People don't understand that what it is. Yes. Birmingham is a time. But
also too, on the music side, there's a lot of talent in Birmingham.
Absolutely.
A lot of talent.
Absolutely. I tell people all the time, Birmingham has a lot of raw, untapped talent. Like they have the singers, if you will.
Yourself.
They have the
I like yourself.
Yeah. I'll take it. I'm going to take it. We working on it.
Listen, I think you got it. You there. If you get any better, I don't know what to say.
I appreciate that.
Like you are, and I'll say it on camera, you are, and I said it off camera earlier, you are a true superstar. Like you've got the look, you've got the sound, you've got the energy. You are a total package. I could see why Jetta Sky said, come on.
I was working with her before that on the back end though, because I was choreographing for an artist that she was working with when she was working with London B.
Oh, okay. Dope.
So yeah, I was choreographing then. So that's the space that she met me in.
That's amazing.
And then we back here now, like some years later.
Well, let's talk about your journey in getting started in music. You said, in Clarksville it was different. Were you ever on the gospel side?
Yes, I'm a PK.
Okay.
I am a pastor's child. Yep. So I was in the youth choir, teen choir, praise and worship. I did all of it when I was in, in church and going consistently. So yeah, that's my base. My base is always been gospel. My base has always been like in that realm.
So when did you decide to tap into the secular side?
That was always a thing.
It was all okay. So it was both.
Yeah, it was always a thing with me. Because I danced, I was on the step team, I was in show choir, like at school, I was in a band. So I was doing a lot of stuff outside of church as well.
Yeah.
So I literally was just I like music. I loved music. My mom had like this big. She had that old school CD case that had like 4 CDs on each page.
Listen, I know. I had one of them too because I'm
old. She used to get like her CDs from Columbia House. They used to like just randomly send her CDs. Yeah, like I literally, that was my thing. Like my thing was to just sit, and I used to go through her CD book and I used to record the music because she wouldn't want me to touch it. Like she just would, because I was clumsy. I break stuff. But
I think all kids are.
I would like sneak and take her CDs and record the songs that I heard in the car. I would just remember what they looked like, record it, and then put them back and then just go with it. But that's how I used to listen to music all the time. So I was a music kid.
Do you recall like who a couple of those artists were?
Blackstreet.
Okay.
Blackstreet, LFG, H-Town, Brownstone, Cut Close, Allure, As Yet. Those were like some of the ones I always used to steal. R. Kelly, Keith Sweat. Those were like the main ones that I used to like take out of her CD case. Changing Faces, like those were
that late 80s, early, or even throughout the 90s, in my opinion, during my living years, was the best era of R&B.
The best.
I just posted, because I went to Florida over the weekend, and I came back on Monday, and my whole ride back, I was listening to 90s R&B, because I got a whole 90s R&B playlist on my phone, and I even posted about it last night. I'm like, 90s R&B will always have my heart. Like, there's just, and truly, when I was listening to your record, Love Languages, it gave me that vibe, but with a modern twist, if that makes sense. I was like, yo, this took me to
That's the nail on the head.
It gave me chills, honestly, listening to it, because I was just like, man, this is beautiful.
That was the nail on the head. Like, that's where I want to kind of get back to, because I feel like that was the music that felt good. That was the music that actually had a message to it.
Yes.
Like, it just, it does something for you. Like, it's one of those things where you can actually sit back and get something from it. Like, there's a message in there. And then if you want to smoke, you can smoke to it. You want to just sit back and drink. Love Languages felt like, it felt warm. It felt real warm.
I agree. What is your love language?
Words of affirmation, reassurance, at services. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's me. I used to think it was like quality time, but it's not. Because I be liking to be by myself.
I used to think that too, but the older I get, I'm like, bro, leave me alone.
Thank you.
I need this time to myself.
I thought it was just me.
No, it is not just you. Bruh, I'm slick, very introverted. I come out because I have to.
That's me.
So words of affirmation, obviously, you know, because it feels good to hear them compliments and stuff like that. And that's something I've incorporated into my daily. I always make sure I compliment people, and I make it very genuine. It's not, I don't do it just because. And then you said, what other word? Acts of service. Yeah. Acts of service, absolutely. The little things. Yeah. People doing stuff for you, those are what counts. I think those are mine as well.
Yeah. I think with the industry that we're in, it kind of helps, because a lot of times, again, we have to be, a lot of people don't understand, we have to engulf ourselves in so many different areas and networking and be around all these people. So you're not always going to want to do the quality time thing, because you want to decompress. Like, and sometimes you don't want to decompress around anybody.
That is fact.
You just want to kind of be to yourself. You know what I'm saying?
You better tell them, PK. Take them to church.
So yeah, acts of service, that's like something that's easier, you know what I'm saying, because it's just an act. And then again, with your words of affirmation, you know what I'm saying, and things like that, that's just a communication thing. And it doesn't really take you having to be in my presence all the time in order to do it, and vice versa. Like, yeah.
I agree. And I'm slick on the fence with the physical touch part, because sometimes I'm like, don't touch me, leave me alone, don't bother me. But then other times you want to cuddle and be lovey-dovey. So
when I'm in it, I'm in it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm around, yes.
Yeah, it all depends. I just got to be the right person, right time, right place, all that stuff.
Hello.
100%. So I'll be on the fence with it. Trust me. Understood. So you've been taking it, like, you've been doing music for a long time, but we'll say where you really stepped it up, you know, got all your business together over about the last 5-ish years? So
I didn't start doing music until 5 years ago.
Okay.
My anniversary, music-wise, was like 2 weeks ago. Because
Congratulations.
I started recording 2 weeks before my dad passed. My dad actually passed. His anniversary was yesterday.
So that First of all, I'm so sorry to hear that. How long ago did he pass?
It's 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
Today's the 4-year anniversary when my mom passed.
Wow.
Listen, that's why we right here. Your dad and my mom passed a day apart, a year apart, and they're here with us right now.
Absolutely. Synergy. Like
Man.
I said today, I got up today and I told myself I'm going to smile today. This is the day that I'm not going to kind of, because it normally lingers and I'm normally in a mood. But this year I was just like, I'm going to smile. I'm going to laugh a little bit. Like I'm going to enjoy my day. Like I'm going to go to work. I'm going to go hard today, like with everything I got going on.
Absolutely.
Because I know that's kind of like what he would want me to do.
100%.
So I had my little moment, you know what I'm saying? Like I broke down a little bit, but I pulled it back together because I knew I got to make it through the rest of the day.
100%. That's how this morning when I woke up, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little sad because I'm like, this is the anniversary. But I was like, you know what? Like you said, I know my mom would not want me to sit around like moping around, being sad, you know, because she always had big energy.
Yeah.
So listen. And do you feel like I'm the type of person I like to bring out the positive in everything? It's important. It's tragic and it's tough and it hurts like hell to lose somebody that close to us, but we have to find the positive in it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure, instilled a lot of beautiful characteristics in you.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
My dad he was a hard ass.
Tough love?
Yeah, very tough. Very, very tough. But he was a drill sergeant. You know what I'm saying? Like my folks were both military. So a lot of the stuff he's instilled in me, he did it the rough way, but then he would like smooth it over with love later on. So he would like piss me off literally before I walk out the door. And 10 o'clock at night asked me to come sit in the living room with him so he can talk to me. And I'm just like, you could have did this earlier.
I'm dead. That is
like you could have did this earlier today. But he was always like that. And a lot of the stuff, I made a post today and it was crazy because when I made the post, I literally was just like, a lot of the stuff that you warned me about and you were just on me about is happening right now. And I've been so scared because I'm just like, normally you fix this stuff and you're not here. So I don't have anybody to fix it but me. You know what I'm saying? So I've been having to kind of tough through it, but it's like literally every time it happens, I hear him saying it and I see when he said it, like literally it's so like clear to me. Like when it happens, I'm just like, he told me this was going to happen. Yeah. Literally was going to tell me what it's going to. But I now as an adult, I've always loved him, but like I love him more now because it's becoming more clear, everything that he said, because it didn't make sense when I was younger. I'm like, why are you telling me this now? But now it makes sense.
In adulthood, it makes perfect sense.
Oh, yeah.
I was laughing so hard because that's how I was with my son. Like, I would go hard on him, and then later I'd feel kind of bad, and I'd be like, do you want to go to the store?
Yeah, like I don't want to go nowhere with you.
But my son said to me, now that he's an adult, he's like, I understand why, like, you only gave me a certain amount of allowance. I understand why you did this and that and the third. So it takes us into becoming an adult to understand why our parents did what they did. And it's
absolutely.
It's all out of love, though.
Every time.
Because essentially our parents want to see us do better than them. And same thing, if we have kids, we want them to do better than us.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Did you ever have the desire to get in the military?
No.
Said that quick.
No. Absolutely not. I'm not made for it. I wasn't getting drafted. When they started talking about the draft at school, I wanted no parts of it. The closest I got was JROTC, and the only reason why I did that is because they had the drill team, and it was like step team to me, and I was just like, I'll do it. But that was, and I had to have that, like one of those credits, I had to have a you know what I'm saying, like a different credit. So I was just like, I'll do JROTC, that's fine. Listen,
I'm with you. I commend and salute to all of our veterans out there, including my son, you know, and right here.
All of y'all, love y'all.
But it was not a route that I would have.
Absolutely not.
I really have a hard time with people telling me what to do. I ain't gonna lie. That
doesn't bother me, but y'all wasn't finna get me out there overseas with no gun and no helmet, just out there. Because first of all, I can't see. We gonna start there. So I was already out of luck being over there.
I just love you. We need to hang out. Like, I just love you have such a great sense of humor. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you good. I'm just saying, I would be no use. Like, I would be no use to them. They would send me back. Like, I would be no use to them.
They're like, man, just pack him up and send him back home.
Please, he can work in the office. Like, we don't need him over here.
Put him on clerical duty.
Please, something.
So when you were younger, what was that? What did you say? This is what I'm gonna be when I grow up.
I originally wanted to be a dentist.
Okay.
That didn't happen. And then I wanted to develop like this little music box situation. That didn't happen either because I never got into the technology side of things.
Yeah.
Then I went from there. I wanted to be a radio personality. I started making like my own radio show on these cassette tapes. I stopped doing that. I wanted to be a track star like Carl Lewis. That didn't happen. I literally just bounced around from so many things.
It's so funny because my guest that I had here before you, she said the same exact thing. She said, I tried doing this. She's like, I quit all of them. And I said, I wouldn't say you quit. It just wasn't your passion.
Yeah.
Music is your passion. So, but I commend you for even putting the effort in to do these different things or having those thoughts of wanting to do different things.
Oh, yeah.
When did you realize music was it for you? Was it 5 years ago?
It was literally 5 years ago. So I started off on the back end. I started off as a choreographer and creative director.
Got you.
So I was working with a lot of indie artists frequently. And they would like invite me to their studio sessions. I was on the road with them. I would do like their warm-ups with them, all the different types of stuff. I was helping them do a lot of stuff. And I went to a studio session with one of the girls I was working with. She couldn't find a note. Like they were going through like the harmonies and she couldn't find a note. So I'm trying to help her find the notes, you know what I'm saying? Like, just because I'm there, and I'm here. Shit, I help.
Might as well.
Yeah, I'm here.
Might
I ain't
as
doing
well.
nothing. So the dude was just like, oh, he really on it, bro. He was like, do you do music? And I was like, no. And she was in the booth, and she was like, but he should, though.
Put you on the spot.
Like, so I started writing. I had a session with her. Her name is Keljon. I started writing with her. We sat down one day at her house, and we were just writing. And we worked on a record. I did the record, and I did a show. And when I did the show, I kind of caught the bug.
Yeah.
Like from there, because I've always wanted to be the person in control of the creativity and the music and where the music goes and what the music videos are going to look like.
Yeah.
And when we go on stage, the performance and all that other stuff, because I was already in that field.
Sure.
And I was just like, I feel like I would be hard if I was an artist. Like, I just want to try it.
Yeah.
And after I tried it and it started to go well and I liked it, like after that first year, I just was like, yeah, we're going to keep going with it.
Because you already had all the qualities in place that it takes to do what you're doing.
I had been on the back end. And I think that's what made it so much sweeter for me. Because it was just like I got to see what indie artists go through before I stepped in it. So it wasn't like I was completely green to it.
Right.
It was just like, I see when y'all go to the studio. I see when y'all go on the road. I see what it takes for y'all to have to put a budget together to get on the road. I see what it takes. I'm the one that y'all having to pay right now to get dancers and choreographers and studios and all this other stuff for rehearsals. So now that I know that's what y'all have to do, me being on this side, I know I have to pay for the studios and the dancers and the rehearsals and da-da-da-da-da and all this other stuff. So it made it a little bit easier for me.
Absolutely. I think that's a great way to come into it because you know what you're up against, you know? It's kind of like doing an internship somewhere.
Yeah.
You get to test it out a little bit to see if this is for you, you know? And, you know, what you did obviously wasn't an internship, but just, you know, similar aspect. You got to see, okay, this is what it takes to be a music artist. Is this something I want to do? Is it everything it cracked up to be? Is it everything you thought it was going to be so far? No. You heard that whisper.
The only reason why I say that is because outside of all of that, now, like, at first it was like, I just want to be an artist. This is real cool. Like, I love the creativity. I love being able to, like, reach people with my music and be relatable.
Yeah.
But now it's just, like, the business side. The business side and you having to play the game with these people in the industry and just dealing with people, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
It is so much, and it's stressful a lot of the times. Like, it can be very, very, very stressful, and it can be a lot, especially when you don't have the right people in place and you don't know what you're doing on the business side of things.
Yes.
That's when it gets tedious. That's the only part that kind of caught me for a loop.
Because it's so much.
It is.
It's very consuming.
It
but
is.
Fortunately, that's where Jetta Sky comes in.
Absolutely.
Hallelujah.
Absolutely. Baby, when I tell you.
But like, Jetta, I need you to do this for me. I need you to handle this because this person is making me crazy.
Heaven sent. When I tell you heaven sent, because the
beautiful.
manager that I had before her that will remain nameless was just absolutely just awful. Like, sold me a dream and had me thinking I was just going to be the next big thing. And he was going to walk me through the door because, you know what I'm saying, he was with a label prior to, and then he just went independent. Kind of find out, I'll just say allegedly because I don't want and come back at me.
You don't want no smoke now.
Allegedly, he screwed somebody over. It went viral. And I put the puzzle pieces together because they also left him nameless.
Wow.
When they discussed it, like when they went on the internet and
sounds too familiar.
And I just was like, but the people that he was saying that the guy worked with prior to him and like why he was working with him and the team, I was just like, if 1 + 1 = 2 and 2 + 2 = 4, I'ma just inbox him and just see.
Yeah.
So I was just like, by any chance, I don't mean to disturb you, but were you talking about this person? So I just sent him the name.
Sure.
And he was like, my manager's finna call you. And from there, he literally kind of like told me everything. And the story sounded so similar to how he picked me up. And he basically groomed the artist.
Wow.
Put him under his management. And I guess took their rights to things because, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was promising certain things. And mind you, I was under a lengthy contract.
Man.
And I think I got out of the contract a day before the date was due for me to get out of the contract, and I would have been stuck in it for 3 years.
Thank God that you've seen that post that was put out there. God made that happen.
But mind you, I saw the post after I got out of the contract. I got out of the contract just because I didn't feel supported as an artist. I didn't feel like they were there and they really cared. I feel like they cared, but I didn't feel like they cared like for me completely. And I like to feel, if you're going to manage me, I want to feel like I'm wanted around. I want to feel like my dreams are just as like a priority to you as anybody else's. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you walk into this and I start telling you my dreams, I don't want you to water me down, but I do want you to be realistic with me. But at the same time, if I've got enough time to make it achievable, I want you to just be like, you know what? If we gonna jump out the window, we just gonna jump out the window together. We just gonna see how we gonna land. If we don't land, we'll talk about it later. But for right now, let's just jump and let's see what happens.
Facts, because I feel like one of the most important decisions that an artist will make in their career is who's going to represent them and manage them. Because a manager can literally make or break your career. And I say that respectfully, but there are some artist managers that I deal with that I don't want to work with the artist because I don't like the manager and how they handle business.
I've seen that happen so many times before. And I've actually been that, like,
and it's sad.
Choreographing for artists. Yeah. I won't call them back. Like, after I've worked with your camp one time and it didn't pan out right, you could text me 1,000 times and I'm not going to answer because
I don't blame you.
I just be like, I don't want to go through that again. Like, I'm good.
It's not worth the stress, you know, and it's like some of these artists, respectfully, again, they're not at a point where they even need management, right? Let's say that first and foremost. Some of them, there's nothing to manage.
It just feel good. I feel like, honestly, a lot of artists just do it because it's cute. They don't even know the functions of a manager. They don't know the functions of an assistant or a PR or anybody that they need to actually have around on a team.
Right.
And they don't understand that it's not even time for you to have a team yet. You're not doing enough to have a team. Like, you're not even putting yourself out there enough to have a team or putting yourself in a space where you need a manager or contracts or anything of that nature.
Go look at my video clip I posted on Industry's Most Wanted where I asked Jetta Sky about that. I posted that exact video clip. I had asked her, when should an artist start seeking management? And really, it's when there's something to manage. Like, if you are not getting booked, you're not having no motion, there's nothing there. And it's not necessarily the manager's job to completely uplift you. You got to be putting that work in too. Give them something to manage.
Because with the artists, what I will say is, because I curate a lot of shows too. I curate so many different types of shows, and working with a lot of these artists, and I look at their pages. I look at, you know what I'm saying, their motion, if you will. I look at what they do on a day-to-day basis. I look at what they do, like, as far as, like, shows and putting stuff together. They don't do anything that, like, just gets me up out my seat and I just be like, yes.
Exactly.
Like, it does not, you know what I'm saying? I know that if I'm hitting you, if I'm hitting you up and I'm asking you about a project and you're not talking to me about a rollout.
Yeah.
And you don't even know what a rollout is.
Exactly.
When I ask you, like, what's your rollout? And you just like, what's that? I need you to do some research before you even think about getting a manager.
100%. Because you're right. There are so many things on the business side that they don't even know what publishing is. Like, I'll ask an artist who do they have for their publishing, and they'll look at me like I got 3 heads. They're like, distro kid? I said, that's not your publishing, that's your distribution. Yeah. Now, what I will say my last manager did, he kind of like looped me into like my Sound Exchange and all of that other stuff.
Well,
like
that's good. He did teach me some valuable things.
Sure.
But I will say that Jetta is the one that put everything in play and made it mandatory to get done.
Absolutely.
It was like one of those things where I'm gonna tell you about it. You can do it if you want to do it. Get to it when you can. With her, it's just like we're not moving forward until it gets done. That
is a great manager right there, because she genuinely wants to see you win.
Oh yeah.
It's like same thing. Like, people will hit me up for certain services, and if I, like, for example, they want to get radio rotation. If I listen to the song and I could tell that the quality's not there, not good mix and master, I'm not taking their money. Some people will take their money just to put some money in their pocket. I'll tell them, I told a guy this the other day. He literally sent me 20 songs. First of all, don't ever do that again.
20 is crazy.
He sent me 20 songs, and I listened to probably like 5 of them, not even all the way through. And they sounded like he recorded them on his phone, standing outside in a hurricane. Like, it was just, it was bad. And I said, bro, you shouldn't be looking to pay for radio play. You should be looking to pay for a good engineer to mix and master your stuff.
But see, that also comes to the people that you're around and you communicate with, and the people that you network with. Because I tell a lot of these artists that I do come in contact with, especially these club artists, it's clout over clarity. Right. And it's like, you'll take 10 people coming to support you and turn you up saying your song fire, instead of getting it mixed and mastered correctly. They don't even care about it. They just like, oh, that's my homie. The song is lit. And da-da-da-da-da. And I'm just like, I'm listening to it in the club, and I'm just like, y'all did not get this mixed and mastered.
Yeah, you don't hear this? Stop hanging around them yes men, yes women, because
the yes man is crazy.
Yeah, because they'll, like you said, they'll be hyping you up. No, damn well, but maybe them people don't understand what quality sounds like. I don't know.
But when you actually sit back and you listen, I tell them, listen to your faves, whoever your faves are,
and compare it to that.
Listen to your faves and the quality of the sound when it comes through the speakers, and then listen to what comes through the speakers when you play your music.
Yes.
Like, even with my friends, I don't steer them to a bunch of other engineers aside from my engineer, Wisdom Bibbs. Shout out to him, because he's literally been working with me for the last 5 years.
Okay.
And I know the quality.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know the quality when it comes to the speakers. I know he's going to mix and master for his life. So I'm going to send my friends to him, especially the ones that don't have an engineer. I'm just like, hey, bro, like, he travels from Birmingham. He'll come here. Or if you want to go to Birmingham, it's only 2 hours away, but he will come here. I'm telling you now. So it's worth it, though. And whenever they get with him, they be like, bro, you was right. Like, they'll be like, I ain't gonna lie, you was right.
Especially you as a singer, you need a phenomenal engineer to get your vocals right. You're not like a trap rapper, and
Atlanta is so trappy with the engineer. I love them.
Exactly. I always say respectfully.
But everything is not for everybody, and that's the reason why I tell people your engineer is like your barber.
That is facts.
You cannot go to everybody and sit in everybody's chair.
No, facts.
So when you picking your engineer, you have to find somebody that understands your sound.
Yes.
And already dabbles in your sound and can perfect your sound. If they don't dabble in that, I've done features with artists that are in my catalog, and I've gone to their studios with their engineers, got their mix and master, and I did not like it.
Yeah. Understood.
You know what I'm saying? But it was just because I also know that their engineers work with rappers.
Exactly. It's a big diff. It's a big diff, because to mix the vocals of a singer versus mixing the vocals of a rapper, it's a whole different ball game.
And a lot of them be like, I'm just gonna throw some auto tune on it, bro. Like, just when you hear it, it's gonna be crazy when you get it back. And I'm just like, I don't want all that on there.
Oh, I was gonna say, because you have a pure voice that doesn't need all that on there. They just need to tweak it slightly.
Just put a little bit on there.
Just a little sprinkle a little something on there.
Just throw a little umph on there, like yeah, throw it on there. You know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do, but it doesn't. I just feel like it's not always needed on every record. Like every record should not sound like that. But if you have a well-versed engineer, then they can do your rap records, they can do your R&B records. And that's what I love about Wiz, because I do rap too. Yeah. My core is R&B, but I rap as well. Yeah. And he does not approach those the same way. He approaches them two different ways. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when I come in there, I'm like, all right, we got a rap record today, bro. He be like, all right, bet. We fly through those. Yeah, yes. I can do a rap record in like 45 minutes. But when we're doing the R&B records, it takes longer. We have to make sure the stacks are right. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to go through. And as he's going, and I love this about him, as he's going, everybody that's like set on the end with him while I'm in the booth, they be like, that boy is mixing while he's recording you. Like, he's already like mixing it down. Like,
like a pre-mix on there.
Literally already.
It's a great engineer.
And he moves quick. So it's like one of those things where get somebody that loves your music like you.
Yes, exactly.
Get somebody that loves your music like you and gonna love on, like, they want it to sound good.
Yes, and they have to be patient because, like you said, it takes a whole lot more time to mix a singer's vocals versus a rapper. You are absolutely right. But that's good. I'm glad that you found the right engineer. What's his name again?
Wisdom Bibbs.
Wisdom, shout out to you, fam. You did your thing on this record. You know, we're going to listen to in a couple minutes. But let's talk about a couple of things that you've done, man. You've had the opportunity to perform at the Apollo.
Yes.
I mean, like, pop your ish.
I almost peed on myself.
I would have, too. I would have peed with you.
And I almost peed on myself because that was probably the most strenuous mind like, boggle and of my life. But I will say this, if you can do the Apollo, nothing is gonna phase you past that point. And like literally past that point, nothing has ever, I don't care what kind of crowd I'm in front of, it doesn't bother me anymore. Because we drove to New York. Me and my dancers, we rented a truck, drove to New York. Found out that we needed to have updated vaccination cards. The scammer in me had to figure that out. So I had a homegirl.
I know that's right.
That could get us, and they said they'll take the virtual one. So I had a homegirl that got me the template, and we had to figure it out. We went to the back door, like they take you through the back door into the thing, and we got up there, and my nerves was bad because I'm just like, I wonder if they're gonna take them, because everybody else had theirs. It was just me and one of the dancers, and I'm just like,
please.
I said, if they take all of theirs and they don't take mine, I'm going to be pissy, because how all the dancers get in and I'm out here.
Right.
But they took a second and they looked through them, and I was just like, I'm literally like sweating under my arms. I'm just like, oh my gosh. So they took all of ours. We went in. We got there, had been rehearsing the set backwards and forwards. Yeah. Got there, they cut the set down, the time. Like, our set time was not the same. So they cut the whole last part of the show out. So when I'm up there, I'm teching, and then the music stopped. I'm just like, oh, they just stopped the music. So I'm just like, okay, we're finna do it again. They was like, did you need to, like, is there anything you need to be fixed? I was like, it stopped playing. Right. They was like, that's the time that you have. I was like, oh.
Oh, so they give you a certain time frame that you could be up there.
But they had, like, the email had said something different. And when they cut it off, it was like in the oddest spot. And I just was like, oh my gosh.
Had you known that, you could have had a different show set or something.
But it was okay. Yeah. We fixed it. We went downstairs. We sat downstairs for the longest time. So I get the guy that plays the Sandman now. We're downstairs, and he's like kind of like just walking through talking to everybody before the show. And he was like, Hemmingw8y. I was like, yeah. He said, you're doing an original song. I said, yeah. He's like, good luck tonight, and just walked off. And I said,
what's that supposed to mean?
What does that mean?
Yeah, like, is that good? Is that bad?
Come to find out, the Apollo doesn't take well to original music. They prefer covers. So if you haven't noticed, anytime that you've seen somebody perform on the Apollo, unless it's like a artist, they've always done covers. and I did an original record. So it was just like one of those things where my nerves at that point were so bad. So I get out there. I said, one man's trash. The song had just started. I just got out there to introduce me. I'm like, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Man stood up, never forget him. Big nigga, right in the middle. He had on a blue shirt. I will never forget him. He is imprinted in my brain if I ever see you out anywhere. Anywhere, sir. I promise you, you're imprinted on me to the point where if I ever see you anywhere, sir, I'm going to ask you, do you need that? Stood up, boo, like literally so loud, and I almost started choking. And I just kept singing, the dancers ain't even out yet.
Oh my gosh!
And I'm just like, oh my gosh. So then a couple more people stood up. They start booing. Then now they got it like the fan where they boo on the fans now, like where you can hold them up. And I was like. So I'm still singing. Finally, the first dancer come out like, and then I also another strike against me. They don't do like the whole sexual thing. Like as far as like dancing, if you too sexy, it's more family friendly.
Got you.
Didn't know that. The girls, they got on like these velvet bodysuits and heels. So she come out and she's just dancing and they're just like, this is too much. So I get to the chorus, the rest of the dancers come out and then it kind of settles down and they start screaming. Like everybody's kind of like clapping. They like turning up. He gets back up again. I feel like he just really was at me at that point and was trying to get me out of there because now he trying to lead the boost because now he turning around like, boo! Like, I'm just like, what do you got? You don't even know me.
Exactly. What is your beef with me?
So we still going through and now it's like a mixed crowd. It's like, now it's like half of them is like screaming and like, yay. The other half is booing. And I'm just like, just keep singing. Because with the Apollo, in order for you to make it to the judging round, you have to make it all the way through the record. If you get fan-manned, then you don't make it to the end.
Wow.
So I made it to the end of my record. That's all I wanted to do.
Exactly.
I said, if I can make it to the end of my record, I don't have to win. Just let me make it to the end of my record and don't get booed. Because the group that went on before me, they were fire. It was a 3-girl group. Never forget it. They went on right before me. They got probably like 10 words out and they booed them off and they had to come off the stage.
Oh, wow.
Like literally right before me. So when we went out for judging, he messed up my name and he did it on purpose. And
same blue shirt guy?
No, this was the
different.
host. The host messed up my name, did it on purpose. I forgot what he said. It was like some cute about my dancers and all this other stuff. And I didn't get like the same round of applause or whatever the case might be. But I'll tell you this, when I got off stage from performing, like after that, I cried in the corner. I'll lie to you not. And that day it was so tragic, but like now I can laugh at it.
Yes.
But like I literally went downstairs after I had finished performing like the first time and I sat in the corner in the back and I cried in the corner. And the Sandman guy came down there and he was like, what you did today was very gutsy. And he was like, I just want you to understand, I know the next time that I see you, I'm going to be asking for tickets to your show. And I just was like, that was so crazy to me because I didn't think he liked me either. But he was just like, what you did was phenomenal. He was like, you're an amazing artist.
Wow.
And he was like what you did today was like, people don't do that.
Yeah.
And he said, you actually made it through, you know what I'm saying, your set. So you should be very, very proud of your set. And like from that point, I literally told myself, if I've actually sat in a crowd and been booed by multitudes of people, then I can go anywhere and it be like them 2-3 people or like 10, 15 people. I'm going to be cool. I'm going to be all right.
Do you feel like some of the things that they did, like messing up your name and him making everybody trying to boo, do you feel like some of that stuff was to see how you act under pressure?
Very much so. It was New York. I already knew.
Yeah.
Like it was a psych out. New York is a very rough place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to talent, it's either you got it or you don't with them. That's something that I have noticed because I've been up there a couple of times for shows and if you don't wake it up for them immediately, they just be like,
They want to see if you're going to fold under pressure.
Yeah. Like
and you didn't.
I did afterwards, but that was one thing my dad taught me. Alvin Curtis said, don't you ever let a man see you sweat. And I wouldn't let them do that to me on stage.
I'm so glad that you pushed through that.
Because I wasn't going to make it.
Listen, and like you said, you got that confirmation that you did a phenomenal job. And that just lets you know they were just trying to push your buttons to see how you were going to react. I'm pretty sure that they probably thought you were dope, but their job is to push your buttons to see how you're going to act under that type of pressure. And you didn't allow it to let you fold when you was on stage. Look at you. I know that's right. Because a lot of people would have definitely folded right there on stage because they can't
yeah.
take that type of criticism and their feelings are hurt.
Because it's so loud and it's like it rumbles through the building. You got to think the Apollo is so big.
Yeah.
So like once they start doing that, it's not like you just hearing one person. It's like you hear it like a wave,
Yes.
and it literally goes from like the right side, and then it might stop, and then it's like you see it go like up the balcony.
Right.
And y'all've made it worse to give me a visual of this fan that they turn around that says "boo" on the back of it, and I'm just like it can really psych you out and just make you think, I don't want to do this no more.
No, that's facts. But I'm glad that you were stronger than that. You listened to what your pops told you.
Oh, yeah.
And you pushed through it.
And I got me a chopped cheese after that. I was excited.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Like, it's time to eat now.
Yeah.
I done made it through. You also had the opportunity to perform main stage at the Taste of Soul Music Festival. That's
Love
a
it.
big deal. Tell us what that
Love
experience
it.
was like for you.
I've been with Taste of Soul for 3 years now. I've done it 3 years in a row. My first year, I was down the street on this little pedestal that's probably as big as this desk. But I'll never forget it. I took like 10 dancers.
Yeah.
And we went and we walked through like until I got ready to perform. I went and found everybody that had a Taste of Soul staff shirt on. I was like, y'all, we performing down here in like 12 minutes. We need y'all to come down here because I thought I was on main stage. And when we got there and we was outside the fence, I'm like, so we went down the street to look at the stage. Stage about as big as the desk. I'm like, I said, what am I doing down here?
Yeah.
I said, but we gonna rock it. Like
Yeah.
we gonna do what needs to be done, and we gonna do it down here. So I pulled everybody. I had them walking through. They went and grabbed people like from the crowd. Like we literally brought the crowd there and performed. It was like next year we'll have you on main stage. So the next year I did main stage. We went crazy that year, and he was like, I just wasn't expecting that. He was like, but I know, like, it was amazing. So they brought me back this past year.
Where does it take place at?
Downtown, by the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Got you. Okay.
It's an R&B, like it's R&B, jazz, neo soul. It's like one of the biggest R&B, neo soul, like jazz festivals that they do. It's 2 days.
Got you.
But this past year, they had me come. I did main stage. And they asked me to come back and perform, and I went on like right before the headliner. The next day, I'm just like, I don't got no dancers. And it was just like, we want you to come back. Like, can you come back? They asked me at the last minute. I was like, yeah, let me shave my head. I said, I'm on my way. And I went and I did it. I didn't have any BGVs that day. The first day I did. I had BGVs, I had dancers, I had everything. But that second day, I didn't have any of that, and I had to go do it by myself. But I did it. And I locked in, and it was just like, this year we gonna try to get you back. So hopefully we get this co-headliner spot this year.
I know that's right. Absolutely. And
Hopefully we get that.
I think you going back, even when you didn't have anybody with you, showed them that this is how I'm serious about this.
I've always been a person, and I told my dancers, we've had this conversation multiple times, because they just be like, you don't call us no more. I said, I'm not calling y'all because one, I don't have the budget.
Right.
And then two, because I had to test myself for like 2 or 3 months just to see if I can hold a stage without y'all.
There you go.
If I can get the same kind of compliments and the same kind of feedback and interaction, and I'm rocking this by myself without y'all, then that lets me know I know how to entertain and I don't need a gimmick.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100% on that. You are absolutely right. Because you want to know that it's truly you that they're there for, and not you're being held up because you got dancers and all this other stuff going on. I mean, that adds to it. But you're the main attraction.
You want it to just be the add-on, though. Like, you just want that to be the sauce.
Right.
You don't ever want that to be the meal.
100%. I could not agree more. Also, too, you got Performance of the Year, Boss Babe Awards. Congratulations. Like, holla.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's big right there because, again, this is something that you do. And to be recognized for your hard work, how did that feel?
It felt really, really good. It felt amazing. It was funny because that night when it happened, they mixed up the projector, like the PowerPoint where they show the awards. So they're like going through the categories, but it was the category before mine, and my name had popped up on the screen, and it said Performance of the Year, and I was just like, everybody was like, Hemmingw8y. I was just like, well, I'm gonna act like I ain't see it. And I'm just like, wait, y'all. They was like, you got the award. I was just like, for real? They was like, yes, it was on the thing. I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm just playing cool. I'm play cool until it happens. And my category was like right after that. So when they called it, I just act like, oh my gosh.
You could select be an actor too now. And a comedian.
Like I had to, you know what I'm saying? I played off. I was just like, yeah, I said, thank y'all. I said, I appreciate y'all so much. Like, but no, I pride myself off of being a good entertainer, because even when I work with artists and do artist development with them, I get them to understand when you go and you do a show, like even if it's 5 people there, you have to get these people a show, because these might be the same 5 people that come and see you later on down the line. And if you go in there and you give them a laxy daisy show, them 5 people they're not gonna come see you no more.
That is
but
facts.
You don't know who's in the room, and you don't know who's sitting there watching you at any given moment. And they'll be like, he was fire. He's in town this weekend. Y'all need to go look at him. You know what I'm saying? I got friends that's in Texas, friend, and I saw you perform. I told them to come see you. They gonna come because I told them the show was amazing. You don't know what your network is gonna do. And then also you gotta think about it. The show that you gave, would you pay for that?
Exactly.
Like, would you pay to see that? Like,
exactly. Right. You got to perform whether it's 2 people in the room or 2 million people in the room. It's got to be the same energy.
Like, what you going to do? Like, would you pay $30 to come see you do what you just did?
Right. 100%. And most people are going to be like, nah, like he got up there and was boring, you know? So listen, I love the fact that no matter what situation you're in, you take it 110% serious, because this is what you do. Let's get into this record. This record we've been talking about, Love Languages, released on the 21st of February, so it's brand new. Is there a visual for it coming?
It's coming. I'm just trying to make sure that I got my ducks in a row.
Understood.
I think because this one is my biggest, as far as budget, this is my biggest budget one. This is like, I think my biggest cast on a record, like as far as like the cast for the video. And then my mind and just what I want for this video is so broad.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure it's right before I present it. Like I want to make sure this is like top tier. I want to make sure that this is something that's different, and it feels just as warm as the record. The performance quality of it is good. Like I want it to be a really, really good video.
Absolutely. And I think also too, not rushing it allows people to get familiar with the song too, to make the demand say, now where's the visual at? But you're absolutely right, because perception is everything. When you put it out there, you want people to perceive it the way your hard work that you put into it. Understood. Makes sense. So coming soon, visual coming soon.
Very much so.
Who produced this record?
Chaz.
Okay.
His name is Chaz. Chaz is absolutely amazing. I stumbled upon him on a loophole in YouTube, and I went down that rabbit hole, and I ended up finding it, and I just stayed on his page, and I'm just like, wait, this record is fire. So I hit him up about the record on Instagram. I'm real big on that. I don't just yank it from YouTube. Like I actually have to go find them, just to make sure they legit too. Yeah. So I looked him up, and he actually has worked with. I know he worked with Summer Walker. He worked with. I think her name is like Mars or something like that, but it's like Marzz. He did a record with Trey Songz. He did a record with one other person too. But he's actually like fire. And yeah, he produced it. Wiz was my engineer on this record. And then my brother, Callie, he did the engineering and helped me do some of the arranging on the ad-libs at the end of the record. So yeah, it was a team. It was you know what I'm saying? It was a 3-man team to make sure it all came together. And shout out to Jimmy. The second verse. Yes. His name is Call Me Jimmy. He stays in Chicago. Got you. He's on the record, and he did all his stuff and sent all his stems in, and we just kind of like mixed and mastered everything. So yeah,
it was a full team effort.
Oh yeah.
Call Me Jimmy. Is this the first record you guys have done together?
Yes, I found him on Twitter.
And Twitter is, whether people want to admit to it or not, I've met some of the best people on there. It's easier to connect with people, I think, on there than it is on Instagram.
Oh, no. See, it was easy for me with Jimmy because I tagged him in my story, and I said, could somebody please contact him before I crash out, because he's going on the record, because I've already contacted him twice and told him I want him on this record, and he ignored me. I sent him an hour was stalking this man like he was a big artist. Mind you, he's a phenomenal artist, and he's a big artist in my eyes because he's very top tier. But I was doing this like I was trying to get an Usher feature. I sent him like an email. I inboxed him. He had a contact number on the thing. I tagged him on Twitter. Like I'm telling them they ain't even met him yet. They ain't heard the man yet. I'm at the meeting. I'm just like, I'm doing this record called Love Languages, and I got this guy. His name is Jimmy. He's fire. I want him on the record. I saw him on Twitter. I just kept saying it. Then I finally just was like, I tagged him. I was like, I'm gonna crash out if he has 24 hours. And he was like, oh my gosh, bro, I'm so sorry I didn't hit you. I don't know how I didn't see this. I said, you're here now.
Yes.
Let's figure this out.
No. I love the persistence, though.
Oh,
it paid off.
Oh, yeah.
Now you have a hit record.
Yes.
You now have a hit record. Listen, I want to play it so that people can hear what we're talking about. Before we get into it, tell them where they can follow you on your socials.
Hemmingw8y on everything. That's HEMMINGW, 8Y. That's on everything. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, OnlyFans, Christian Mingle, everywhere. Yeah, you can follow me everywhere.
Black Planet,
MySpace. Put me in your top 5, like everywhere.
I love you. You are everything. Your energy is just up and through the roof. I love it. Definitely. Who do you want to shout out to and give thanks to for supporting you?
My mama.
I know that's right.
No, shout out, to my mom. Like I said, the team, Rag and Buckets, Jag, Jetta, of course.
Yes.
Like, literally, anybody that supports me, like the gang, like anybody that supports me, my brother, Major, anybody that's ever done anything for me in any capacity, anybody that shared my song, told somebody about me, paid for a ticket to a show, walked past me and complimented me, said I sounded good, gave me a compliment, and I take, you know what I'm saying, my critiques as compliments too, you know what I'm saying, and told me I need to fix this or fix that. Just anybody, you viewed something, like commented on something, anything, like just anybody that has supported me in any capacity. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Like from family to friends to people I don't know, to people that I'm gonna meet down the line. Like, thank you.
I love it. And thank you to yourself and shout out to yourself.
Shout out to me.
I know that's right. Pat yourself on the back because you've been through a lot.
Oh yeah.
You know, from losing your dad to, you know, going to the Apollo and dealing with and nothing. You have not folded under anything. So that's definitely something to be proud of. 100%. Well, let's get into this record.
Yeah.
If you can introduce it for us.
Yes, without further ado, I give you Love Languages by Hemmingw8y and Call Me Jimmy.
Stay tuned for it. Oops. Yeah, we can clap too.
With Atlanta's hottest hip hop station. The Hype 87.3.
You love me, talking, she keep me love languages. Need you to touch me, hug me, say you love me, talking, she keep me love languages. I ain't got words, adjectives or verbs to describe the way I want you on my body. It's my favorite party, 'cause I wanna be starting something. Gotta be starting something. Baby, stop all that frontin'. I ain't doing this for nothing. It's something about you that puts me in a different mood. Makes me feel like I was made for you. Cancel my day for you. I'm not tryna play with you. Wanna fuck your mind and lay with you. Waste your time like a plate of food. I'm full of you. If I touch you like this, tell you I'm proud of you. Give you a kiss, take you out and buy you roses. All those love languages. I'm trying to learn your love languages. If I touch you like this, tell you I'm